If you bought a laser just for back glass, you're only using it for half of what you paid for. Today, I'm going to show you how the TBK 958ZE can actually help you make your money back faster by using it on iPhone screens. Hey Repair Pros, it's Javi here with Mr. Phone Doctor. Today we're putting the TBK 958ZE UV laser to work on an iPhone 16 front screen. Most techs think back glass only when they hear laser, but I'm going to show you how this machine can help with the frame separation and front glass removal when you're doing glass only refurbishing on the iPhone 16 series. If you're thinking about adding a laser or you already own the 958ZE, but aren't using it to its full potential, stick around. This is going to help you make your money back faster. So here we've got an iPhone 16 with the shattered front glass, but the OLED is still good, touch works, display is clean, no lines, no dead spots, no bleeds. This is a perfect candidate for glass only refurbishing instead of a full OLED swap. Now normally we take this to the heat plate to do our separation, but today I'm going to show you how the TBK 958ZE can speed up your glass removal and help with removing the glass and frame so you can reduce the risk of damage during refurbishing. Quick disclaimer, try this at your own risk. If you don't, you can ruin OLEDs, cook flex cables if you don't know your settings. This video is for trained techs who want to refine their process. Let's talk about the setup on this machine real quick. We've got built-in fume filtration with activated carbon, an enclosed work area to help align your devices, an on-off switch, and a focus meter. A large LCD screen that is controlled via USB keyboard and mouse. Anytime you're running a laser, safety first. Please keep your hands away from the laser marking area. Keep the lid closed during operation and make sure your exhaust and filters are running. Let's begin lasering the iPhone 16 screen. We will choose model iPhone, Apple, remove screen, and we will scroll down to find 16. There we go, and there's our template. We'll set our display in here, and I'm gonna fold the flex over so we don't hit it. Set this in here like so. Now I will be doing our infrared mark just so we can do a test run and make sure that we're within range. We want the laser to overlap so that where you hit the entire frame. I'll have to make a quick adjustment on here. On this one, we need to go up a tad, and I think that should be good. Yep, so now we are overlapping. That is perfect. And always remember to adjust your galvanometer. You want to make sure that the laser is going to hit precisely. So that's your focus button here. Once that completes, we can select print. And that's going to laser our glass. The lasering has finished. Let's take a look and see how well the TBK did on this screen. And there you have it. You can see quite a bit of discoloration on the screen, which is what you want. This type of discoloration lets you know that the machine did its job and separated the OCA from the glass. The OCA will still be stuck on the OLED when we pass the wire through. Now let's test this real quick just to confirm that we are still working with a good working display. All right, there we have the display. You can see that the laser did its job. Touch is fully responsive. And as mentioned, you can see a slight change in the color on the display. And just a little tip for you all, Apple does require you to plug in your ambient sensor here. Without it, you'll have a black display, so don't get scared if your screen does not turn on. Just make sure you have that plugged in and reboot the phone and you'll have a picture on there. So our next step in this process will be to introduce it to the heating plate. Now with this, we will still use our wire method, but now since the glass and the frame has been separated, the wire will glide through easily, thus giving you minimal risk damaging the polarizer. Before we set the display on the heat plate separator, we want to make sure that we tape all these little shards so that way we don't have any separation and the vacuum will continue to grab the display. And for that we use Kapton tape. This is heat resistant, so it helps whenever the screen is set on this higher temperature. So what I like to do in this step is I like to take a look around and see where we have some separating from the glass and the OLED. And if you notice, you see right here on this top part, you can see how the OLED started to remove Okay, so what I like to do here is I like to remove the frame. Of course, be careful of any kind of shards or anything that may be on here. The frame should come off really simple since we already lasered the edges of it. And to help move a little bit of it, I will add a little bit of ISO. And I'm gonna pick up, and you can see how easily this is removing. And the laser doesn't hit here, so what I like to do is just use a little clear card to stick in there. Clear card or even a little thin filler gauge. And you want to be careful when you're going in with here. Make sure that you don't have a curved edge going in, because what can happen is with this cutout notch, if you get underneath or in between the punch out for the camera, you'll hit the OLED and you can kill it. So you have to be very careful when you're doing this, okay? Not a lot of force. It should just slide right out. Look at that. Look how easy this is removing. And I recommend always removing the frame when you're refurbishing. There's a lot of videos out there where people are leaving the frames on. To me, that's just lazy and sloppy, you know. Since you're not putting an adhesive back around the framing, what happens is in time, debris and everything will get in there, kind of cause liftage from the laminating process. So always remove the frame, okay? A little bit of ISO down here, and always watching the flexes, and we'll just lift up. And as you're lifting, you just want to push down with the flex. There we go. We had a little piece come out as well, which shouldn't be a problem. But you can see how the separation of this has made this a lot easier. This task is a lot easier. So next up, we'll begin cutting the glass off. So for the glass removal, what I like to do is I like to find an area where I can see there's a little bit of a lifting between the glass and the OLED. Like right here on this area where the glass piece came out, that'll be a safe area for me to go in. And if you don't have an area like that, I recommend just starting on any corner. Say I want to start down here on the bottom, what you need to do is you need to make sure that whenever you set your wire on the glass, make sure that you push your wire down, okay? So pull it down so that way the wire does not jump up and accidentally hit the OLED. We want to make sure that it's going at a lower angle. So I can demonstrate that here. So I'm going to press this down here and just go in. And it goes in very easily. See that? We went very easily since the glass is already separated. That's the beautiful part about this laser. You know, it's making this refurbishing jobs a lot smoother. And always careful. You can see little shards here. You want to be observant. If you have shards on your edges, you want to make sure that you're maneuvering your wire either up or down so you're jumping them. Just don't carelessly push your wire through, because you'll end up hitting those shards and they'll create a domino effect and hit your OLED. So I'm observing the line right here where we have all these little shards, okay? Now when you're beginning this, I usually recommend labeling your screen. Just get a Sharpie and write down here so that way you know that there's shards, just so whenever you get to this point, you're not accidentally killing the screen. I would hate for you all to get to this point and all of a sudden, because of new mistake, you end up killing it. But then in this industry, you have to make mistakes, okay? So mistakes are bound to happen in anything in life, and if it happens, just learn from it. Sometimes the only way to learn is by creating that mistake. And I am passing through a second time, and you can see that it's already starting to lift up. And I'm gonna just saw this here, and if I go quickly, it should just lift right up. Gravity's pulling the OLED back down onto the glass, but if you work gently enough, you can lift it up and reveal your OLED panel like so. So there's your OLED. Beautiful. Now, as mentioned, whenever the laser finished its process on this, you can see that all the OCA remained on the OLED. So with the UV technology, it allows the laser to stop at this OCA and not penetrate through and kill the polarizer or the OLED panel. Really cool technology. Okay, so our next step is going to be to clean the OLED panel. Now you want to make sure that any kind of little shards that are on here are removed before you put any kind of pressure on the screen. Last thing you want is any kind of glass to get stuck to your spindle and go through and kill your panel. And these are safe to vacuum, so we can vacuum to hold it. You may see it fold a little bit or curve, but that's totally fine. I mean, OLEDs are pretty resilient displays. Now, whenever you do get started, if you don't have any area to start, any exposed OLED, you can just start in the middle and just go with a gentle touch, and you always want to roll away from the screen. There you go, see that? And that's how easy. Now, generally when I run down on the flex, I always like to work my way this way. Reason being is if I'm working down towards me, if the OCA breaks and you have a little bit of resistance on here, you're gonna, by natural habit, push forward with the spindle and you can accidentally hit the flex. So I always recommend working this way, because if you pull and you go forward, you know, there's less likely of you causing any kind of lines. There we have it. And we can rotate the plate and continue. Okay, same thing for these punch outs where the camera and the proc sensor is. I'm gonna make sure I have plenty of spindle over it so that way we don't accidentally poke it. And I always recommend when you get to the edges, you want to hold the screen down with your finger like so. Last thing you want to happen is any kind of oka pull up and you end up folding that OLED. So be very, very careful, okay? And if you feel that your spindle tool is too quick, I usually recommend just putting your finger on here to slow down the speed, the rotation on it, just like that. See that? All right, now that we have all the thick oka removed, we will use our ISO 99. And once again, this is at 90 degrees Celsius. There's a little clump here. We can just roll that off with my finger. Any kind of clumps, just roll them. I recommend using your bare hands for that. Don't use any kind of rubber gloves because the friction on it may cause damage to the touch. Which on these devices, the touch is below the polarizer, so it's an extra layer of security. But still, you want to treat these screens very, very carefully. Because one wrong move and boom. So the glue is removed. Let me clean up my workstation and then we'll test the display panel. Okay, let's test the screen. We have it plugged into the tester. And look at that nice vibrant OEM color. This is what you want to put back on these screens whenever they break. You want to keep the original OLED. That way you don't have any error notifications. And of course, you're keeping your same refresh rate and the display colors that are on here. Those aftermarket LCDs are trash. And there it is. So now if you look closely, you can see that there's a little dent on the screen here. This is from the impact point where the screen fell on the rocks. Now, to me personally, I would rather have that and keep the OEM screen versus going into those aftermarket screens. But that is it. That is going to complete our TBK 958ZE UV laser on an iPhone 16. So you can see that the TBK 958 is running really good on iPhone display screens. I'm really looking forward to putting this on the iPhone 17 screens once we get those on hand. So the next step in this refurbishing is going to be to laminate the glass onto the OLED and then reattach the frame using Nissan's frame machine. Due to time purposes, I will be making another video later on showing you how the Nissan frame machine works to rebond the frames to the glasses. So is the TBK UV laser worth using on iPhone 16 front screens? If you're only doing a couple refurb jobs a month and no back glass repairs, probably not. But if you're a high volume shop or you're already using this laser for back glass, integrating it into your refurbishing workflow can save you time, money, and frustration. The key is respect the power settings and always follow laser safety. Never rush. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, drop your questions in the comments, and let me know what other laser or refurb combos you want to see. Maybe the rest of the iPhone 16 series or even some Samsungs. And huge shout out for Fix for hooking us up with the machine. If you want to grab your own TBK at an awesome price, head over to forallfix.com. That's where I get a lot of my laser equipment and they always take care of the repair community. I'm Javi with Mr. Phone Doctor, helping you repair smarter, not harder. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.